G'day legends, just doing a quick update. Just got back from holidays. Pardon me, been away for the week. So just first thing I did obviously is come out and check the fish inside and outside, and there's been a few tragedies. The albino firecrackers are pretty much no more. So I had a few tubs crash outside from overfeeding, and I think out of 2 dozen albino firecrackers, which predominantly males, but I did have a good group of females as well. There is that female there, and there might be 2 young ones in there that I bred obviously, and brought these in from outside, and that male. So I'm down to pretty much the end of them, I'd say, just about that one pair. And all the crosses between the pineapples and the albino firecrackers went from about 50, and we're down to maybe 10 if we're lucky. So I think that project's probably taken a bit of a hit. To be honest, I'll probably give up on that. It's just about, yeah, it's very disappointing. A lot of work getting them done. We've spent a lot of money getting those albino firecrackers and breeding them up. Very unhealthy line to start with. Obviously I had the ones with the long fins, so they were pretty awesome. But, the sole survivor up there, but all the good ones are dead. So probably a good 20 of them wiped out. God knows how many of I was calling them rusty ones, but obviously they're different to the pineapples, but they're the cross between an albino firecracker and a pineapple. And then obviously you can see the pineapple just in front, one of the pineapples here compared to the crosses. And the crosses, there's only females left, so they're all gone just about. So that project's taken a bit of a blow, it's fair to say. The mixed guppies, which I couldn't care less about, but there was 100 of them gone, so all the females, so I won't be breeding any of them this year. So they'll go anyway. I can't be bothered doing them anymore. That's this guy here, or one of these, I think. Can't remember if him or him, but either way, has jumped out and landed in this tank while I've been away. My dad wouldn't know any different. So my whole colony of about 60 albino blue topaz guppies, probably my number 1 guppy, are gone. So I've lost probably anywhere between, well, just say 50 to 70 albino blue topazes. So they were adult males, but all the females, probably about 40 females, were all the young ones I was growing up that I bred. So that they're absolutely zero, not a single one left. So it's well fed, that guy. It's expensive meal, that's for sure. Probably $10 each, those fish, so it's probably about $600 worth in there. So felt like picking him up and heaving him over the fence, but I have refrained myself. So yeah, so I probably lost probably about 250 fish. So yeah, pretty disappointing to come home. That's just a freak accident. This thing that is just, my dad's actually done a pretty good job, apart from the overfeeding early, which I got stuck into him about, and I changed the food. I didn't let him feed the other stuff, I only let him do the brine shrimp, because he thought I had a koi farm with 6,000 adult koi in it instead of just 30 or 40 fish. So his feeding habits were nothing short of atrocious in the early days when he was just when I was showing him how to do it. So I changed that to the brine shrimp so we couldn't overfeed. We limited it, and everything's fine since then. But yeah, this is just a freak accident. This guy jumping into there, and they weren't even meant to be in there. I meant to have moved them, but the other tanks weren't quite cycled, the big tank. So yeah, so albino blue topaz are no longer on the list. We'll get them again one day, but that'll just have to wait. Yeah, it's normally the lid's on this, but I left it back just a little bit so my dad could actually feed these. Otherwise he'd just throw the food on top of the glass and they wouldn't have got any food for days. So yeah, so I'd say 100 guppies easy, 60 of that blue topazes, and probably all up close to 100 swordtails from outside. So we'll go out and say we're 250 fish lighter when I return. So we'll reset, have a look at what's left out here. Yeah, and we're just going to have to go again. So it's a bit of a blow, obviously. So pretty disappointing, especially that the albino blue topaz. That's just pissed me off. That's just unlucky, man. Just wouldn't believe it. And of course he's eaten every single one of them. Hasn't even left me a pair to work with. So he's had a whole week to do it, I guess, possibly. So everything else seems okay. There's not much left of these tubs. This tub's practically empty now. There was 150 guppies in there, but maybe 20 left or something, I don't know. This one's empty completely. This was the albino firecrackers, they're no longer. What's left's inside. Platies, can't see any, but I think can't see any floating or anything, so I haven't really looked at this one too much. This tank's gone, this tub's gone quite dirty as well. There's movement in there, so I'm thinking possibly okay, but I'll assess that one later. But yeah, so there you go. So I know I had a lot of people that wanted albino firecrackers, and I was hoping this year I would be able to supply some stronger genetic ones than what people are buying. But that's not going to happen, obviously. I'm down to one pair, so I don't even know if I'll continue on with them. I've probably spent bloody $400 on bringing them in and losing huge amounts. So they're just such a weak fish when you buy them. And you ship them, by the time they get here, they're in poor condition. Really took me ages just to get a small group established and breeding, and then they breed and you have trouble with the babies. They're quite weak early on, so it's just taken time. So to lose all them is just a kick in the guts. And then obviously my crosses, I wanted to produce the albino pineapples, and I've got probably 10 females there, but I've only got one albino firecracker male left that I can put in with them, which I will, but I've got no males of those. The males are lost as well, so there's going to be some changes that'll get me to do a bit of a reset on what I keep and breed. It's a bit of a bummer, but it happens, I guess. What do you do? Overall, my dad actually done a really good job, because there's a lot of stuff to look after. Bit heavy-handed early, but we sorted that out. Most other fish seem okay. Done a bit of a check on my pistos, not my favourites, the ones I checked first, obviously. And they all seem fine, and you don't see them at the best of times. In some of these tanks, I've got way too much stuff in the tanks. The guppies all seem pretty good. Obviously, the blue topazes would have been fine too if it wasn't for a certain fish jumping in there. The cichlids are all doing well. The pygmies, there's even I haven't got my glasses on, but there's a batch of eggs on that tile. I'm not sure whether they're any good or not, but I'm not too fussed. But yeah, so yeah, that's it really. It's a bit of a downer of a movie. It's not a movie, Jesus. Video, this one, but everything else seems okay. So overall, like I said, actually, Dad did pretty well. He had me worried early when he was feeding the tubs outside in the week before, and he was coming up to learn what to do, and the amount of food he put in them, fucking now. I honestly thought I had a koi farm in Indonesia. The amount of food was unbelievable, and I just couldn't get those tubs back on track. In 2 days, he just went bunter, and within the 4 days where those tubs had crashed, and just pretty much I had to start catching fish out. And I had a wedding on the weekend, obviously got married, so I had heaps of other things to get ready, and I just didn't have the time to do what I would have normally, and couldn't save enough. So, but that's life. We move on. Yeah, I'll go scream out a few decent words later, but yeah, apart from that though, all is well. Majority of the fish room's still in good nick. Yeah, so get back into it, start collecting some eggs again. These guys would have all laid eggs while I was gone, so they would have all been eaten though, of course. And I've got a few big plans coming up, a few changes in this room. These 2 racks here are actually going to change to start with, and possibly this back rack. So, but yeah, that's for another day, to be honest. Just wanted to update people on how it was looking on my return, and yeah, so bit of a tragedy, but that's life. Yeah, so other than that, I hope everyone has a great weekend. I'll get things back on track in here pretty quick, and yeah, please subscribe, like, comment, and yeah, I'll see you on the next video. Hopefully it's got a bit more good news on it. I've got some fish coming this week, so I'll do an unboxing video, a few pistos coming, so bit of a good news one. Alright legends, have a great one, cheers.